Welcome back to SmartSpeak English.
Great to be here.
So today we're doing a deep dive into, well, a topic that trips a lot of people up. How to say no politely in English.
Yes, the polite refusal. It's definitely something people ask about. We looked at a bunch of material you sent over, didn't we?
We did articles, some research notes, even just observations on where communication gets awkward.
And saying no, it can feel really awkward, can't it? It's like you're walking this fine line.
What do you mean?
Well, you want to protect your own time, your energy, right? But on the other hand, you really don't want to offend someone.
Or seem unhelpful, yeah?
Exactly. You don't want to come across badly.
And the source material we reviewed really digs into why it feels so difficult. A lot of it seems to boil down to, not wanting to disappoint people.
That's a big one. Hurting feelings, maybe damaging a relationship, whether it's personal or professional.
Right. One article even pointed out how this fear can make people just default to yes.
Oh, absolutely. Even when they know they probably should say no.
And some of the research notes mention that people sometimes associate saying no with, negative. Or maybe even aggressive.
Yeah, when really the goal is often just about setting a clear boundary. It's not personal.
So the aim of this deep dive, really, is to help you build up that vocabulary for a polite no.
Right. And to feel more confident doing it, setting those boundaries without sounding rude.
Okay, so let's unpack some strategies. The sources had some good breakdowns based on the situation.
Yeah, that was useful. Like declining invitations, just a flat no can sound a bit harsh.
A bit abrupt, yeah.
So the material suggests starting with some appreciation, soften the blow a little.
How'd that sound?
Something like, oh, thank you so much for thinking of me. That sounds lovely, but actually have something else scheduled then.
Okay, so that thank you up front does a lot of work. One source specifically said it acknowledges the other person's kindness or effort in inviting you.
Exactly. Or another phrasing they suggested was, I really appreciate the offer, but I won't be able to make it to the party on Saturday. Something like that.
Adding the specific detail, like the party on Saturday, shows you actually listened and registered the invitation too.
Good point. Okay, so what about work situations or just general requests for help when you're swamped?
Ah, yes, the overflowing plate scenario. The research seemed to emphasize being clear, but also giving a brief why.
Not just no, but no, because.
Kind of like, I wish I could help you with that report, but honestly, my plate is completely full with the Miller project deadline right now.
Right. And the notes we read specifically said explaining your actual capacity rather than making vague excuses tends to be respected more.
Makes sense. What else?
Another useful phrase was something like, unfortunately, I really need to focus on finishing this presentation right now, so I can't take on anything else at the moment.
So it clearly states your priority without, over-apologizing.
Precisely. And what if you genuinely need a moment to check if you can help?
The sources mentioned that too. Something like, okay, let me just quickly check my calendar and my commitments, and I'll get back to you by, say, the end of the day.
Yeah, that buys you time. It's not a yes, it's not a no, it's a let me check.
Okay, good. And then there were offers, right? Someone offers you food you don't want, or maybe a service you just don't need.
For offers, the advice was generally simple, direct politeness.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's very kind of you, but I'm okay, thank you. Or just the classic, no thank you, I appreciate it though.
Simple enough. But one thing the articles really highlighted was tone of voice.
Oh, absolutely crucial. The sources warn that even the most perfectly polite words can sound rude if your tone is, off.
Yeah, like a really flat, sharp, no thank you.
Compared to a warmer, maybe gentler, oh, no thank you, I really appreciate the offer though. Big difference.
And then the research on nonverbal stuff backed this up, right? A softer tone, maybe a slight smile. It signals the no is about the request, not the person.
Exactly. It's not a personal rejection.
The sources also talked about using softeners, little phrases to make the refusal less blunt.
Right, like adding, I hope you understand, after you've explained why you can't do something.
Or hinting at future possibilities, if appropriate, like, maybe next time? Or, let's definitely try and catch up another day soon.
Yes. Those show you still value the connection, the relationship.
And maybe just circling back to appreciation again, like a final, thanks again for thinking of me.
Always a good touch.
So if we boil it all down, the main takeaway from all this material seems to be saying no politely is totally possible. It's not about being negative.
No, it's about being clear and respectful, respecting your own limits and respecting the other person enough to be honest but kind.
And you can build this skill. You use that appreciation, pick the right phrases for the situation, really pay attention to your tone.
And sprinkle in those softeners where needed.
Okay, so based on one of the listener comments we saw in the source material, here's a question for you listening. What specific situation do you find the hardest to say no in English? Think about that one.
Yeah, that's a good one to reflect on.
And if you found this deep dive useful, please do like, share, and subscribe to SmartSpeak English.
Keep practicing these techniques. It honestly does get easier with time.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep speaking smart.